Hey everyone, and welcome. We all make choices every single day. But let's be honest, how do we make sure they're actually the right ones? Well, today, we're diving into a really cool framework that's all about helping you make smarter, more thoughtful decisions pretty much every time.
You know that feeling, right? We've all been there. You're staring down a huge, high-stakes decision, and you get that knot in your stomach. The pressure is on, the anxiety about what could go wrong. Man, it can be totally paralyzing. Doesn't matter if it's about your career, a big purchase, or a huge move for your business, that weight is real.
And here's the thing, when we're in that moment, we tend to focus on the obvious stuff, the tip of the iceberg. But the real danger, the biggest risk, isn't what's right in front of you. It's all the stuff lurking just under the surface. Those unforeseen consequences that pop up because our focus was just too narrow. And that is the exact trap we want to learn how to avoid.
So, why do we keep falling into this trap? Well, that brings us right to what we can call the decision dilemma. Look, it's not like we're trying to make bad choices. The problem is our brains are hardwired to take shortcuts, which leads to this thing called tunnel vision. It's just how we're built. We instinctively zoom in on the immediate problem and try to find one single, simple fix. But reality? It's almost never that simple. Problems are almost always part of a bigger, interconnected system. And if you're only focusing on one tiny piece of the puzzle, you're pretty much guaranteed to be ignoring other critical factors that are going to come back to bite you.
Okay, so how do we fight that instinct? How do we force ourselves to pull back and see the entire picture? Well, that's where a structured solution like this comes in. So let's introduce the CPC framework, which stands for Context, People, and Consequences. It's basically a method designed to help us break out of those natural blind spots. At its heart, the CPC framework is a process. It's not just about picking option A or option B. It's about analyzing the long-term viability of that choice. So by forcing you to think about the full context, all the people involved, and all the potential consequences, it makes you tackle the problem from a much, much wider perspective.
And this right here is the end game. I know, comprehensive decision viability sounds like a mouthful, but the idea behind it is super simple. You want a decision that doesn't just work for you right now. You want a choice that's tough, that's robust, one that can handle whatever comes next. It's about making a decision you can stand by, knowing you really did consider everything. It's like building resilience directly into your choice from the very start.
So how do we actually do that? How do we build that resilience? It all starts with one crucial skill, seeing the bigger picture. So let's get practical and break down exactly how you can start to widen your scope.
The whole process really boils down to 3 concrete steps. First step, widen your scope. This is the context part. You have to actively zoom out. Ask yourself, what other systems does this decision touch? What's the history here? Second, analyze costs and benefits. This is all about the people. And I mean all the people, not just the obvious ones. Who are all the stakeholders? What's the real impact on every single one of them? And finally, step 3, assess full viability. This is the consequences piece. Think of it like a stress test for your idea. You take your potential solution and you slam it against all those factors you just uncovered to see if it's truly going to hold up in the long run.
And this quote, it really captures the entire spirit of this thing, leaving no stone unturned. You have to think of yourself as a detective on a case. You're not just looking for clues that support your first idea. No way. You're looking for all the evidence, the good, the bad, and the inconvenient. It's all about being thorough.
Okay, so we know how it works, but let's talk about the payoff. I mean, why go through all this extra effort? What's the real advantage to making your decisions this way? The benefits here are they're powerful. For starters, you seriously cut down the risk of those nasty surprises and future regret. Your confidence in your final decision goes through the roof because you know you've done the homework. And naturally, that leads to way more successful, more robust outcomes. Plus, and this is a big one, it gives you a crystal clear, totally defensible reason for why you did what you did. When you really get down to it, the CPC framework completely transforms how you make decisions. It moves you away from just going with your gut or making a wild guess and pulls you into the world of actual strategic analysis. You're not just picking an option anymore, you're engineering a solution that's truly built to last. And that's our deep dive into the CPC framework. So now we're left with more of a challenge than a conclusion. The next time you have a big decision to make, whether it's at work or in your personal life, just ask yourself this: what unturned stone am I going to go look for next?